Hello, and welcome back to Tea with T.E.S. It's called Tea with T.E.S. because we're having tea from my grandmother's teapot, and T.E.S. is my initials, Tracey Erin Smith. So today we're here with Miles, aka Spectra, and we're gonna have a little chitty chat over our tea. I hope you like mint tea, Miles.
I love it.
You do?
Yes.
Amazing, let's have a sip.
All right.
I'm also really into the pinky out with
all
the
right.
with the
Teach
china.
me.
If
How do you
want.
do that without dropping it? It's your grandmother's.
It's a little tightrope act there. So, one of the reasons that you're here is because of the beautiful audition tape that you sent in. And in it, you shared a story that I found very, very moving. I was like, I want her. So, would you share with us now what you put on your tape?
Of course. I suppose, like, for me, most of my life, it's been one box after another box after another box, and I never really thought about myself in the process of life. It was more so, okay, which box am I supposed to fit in today? So whether it's conservative, whether it's Christian, whether it's straight, whether it's gay, and it's just been one box after the other. Nobody really bothered to ask me what I wanted, and so it wasn't until I sort of entered theater school where I took a chance and I sort of admitted during one of the acting processes, as I feel a lot of people might do, where I truthfully admitted I was attracted to another male. And as a gay male myself now, back then that scared the hell out of me. And so I admitted it, and then I took it home to my parents and I love them dearly, but I guess they just didn't share in that forward thinking, as it were.
Right, they didn't share in your joy of your discovery.
Unfortunately not, yeah.
And did that lead to a change in your life or where you were living, or?
It changed a number of things, actually, because for me, it sort of began the gradual process of disconnect, because when you can't necessarily be your authentic self with somebody, no matter how much you love them, whether it's a boyfriend, a coworker, whatever, it begins the disconnect. And so that began at the age of 18 for me, and now I'm 28 years old. That has been a 10-year journey for me. And so I moved to Toronto when I was 21, a few years after that revelation, to just explore myself and to do things like this. So here we are.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So if there are 18-year-olds watching right now, it's been 10 years. What advice would you have for them, or what decisions are you happy about that affected your life positively?
Always remember love. You know, you may be angry, you may be hurt, you may hate yourself at times. The reality is, love is the thing that conquers all. It may sound cliche, but that's the thing that's going to get you through. So even when people don't necessarily understand, just remember that that's a brain thing, and love is not something that you think about. It just is. So conquer all of your enemies with love.
Wow, I love that. And also what I'm hearing is choosing self and what you know to be true for you over maybe what others have been indoctrinated in or chosen to believe is wrong.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting.
It is. Oh, here's another thing for your 18-year-olds out there. Pick your family. There's always people out there who are willing, like, look at all of us today, you know?
You know, I have a friend who says exactly the same thing, and he says there's two kinds of families, your biological family and your logical family.
Mm-hmm. And if you're lucky enough, you can take your biological family with you, if you're lucky, but if not, that's fine too.
Yeah.
You gotta keep moving and doing yourself.
Yeah.
So with love, do
that's
that.
so great.
Yeah.
We had Leon Silvers in, who, all the way from New York, who is the originator of drag therapy. And so you just spent a lot of time immersed in using drag and costumes as a form of therapy. So how was that for you?
It was awesome. The funny part is, for me, is I went in with an idea the first round, and that was just fully constructed. And the funny part is I actually picked a mask as the first one, thinking, oh, by wearing a mask, I'll be exposing myself. And no, I wasn't. I was actually hiding the first round. Okay, let's try that again. Comes the second round, and I was like, okay, this weird, quirky character came out, one that was completely not what I had planned originally.
Ew. Oh, fantastic! Yeah, oh my goodness.
Bam, this weird character came out, and I'm still processing that, to be honest. It just happened.
It did just happen. Okay, so she was so electric and so hilarious and strong. Can you access what it felt like to be in that?
I don't know. It kind of just happened. I don't know. I honestly, working with Leon was amazing because he was just bouncing ideas back and forth with me. And like, I thought he was going to cut it off a lot earlier than he did. But then he's like, okay, let's go to your time machine. I'm like, okay, let's go upstairs. And then like the story wouldn't stop. And I was like, I had no choice but to get out of my brain because it just didn't stop.
Yeah. So. I mean, as a viewer, it really felt like some kind of other force or energy was coming through you.
Yes.
I was just thinking back to the sculpture.
Oh, yes.
So he said he let you use the other 7 members of the group, and he asked you to think of your drag character and then shape them into a statue that epitomized them.
Oh, I love that.
So tell me what you did, and then towards the end, I could feel that there was some emotion coming up in you. What was going on?
Honestly, when I first started, I had this idea where I'm like, okay, so Spectra is my drag name. It stems from the word spectrum, which I love the word spectrum because it's the colors of light separated through a prism. It's just the colors of light, and light is many colors, right? So I had them all reaching out in different directions, and I loved that because it's like all of them are different directions. And so spectrum is that. So I love the idea of encompassing everything. Don't label me, don't box me, which has pretty much been my life journey. And so seeing them all reach out, it was such an emotional moment for me because it included all of them and they were all just loving me and I was loving them doing it. And I had a moment when walking around, connecting with each and every single one of them, reaching out and twiddling their fingers. I connected with that so deeply. And this is the first time I think I've seen Spectra's brand sort of displayed for me because I have yet to perform as Spectra. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
God, that's amazing.
It was breathtaking.
You have yet to perform as Spectra.
Yet to perform as
Okay,
Spectra.
Talk us through that. Like, so I think you're one of the newer people to drag in the group.
Brand new. So I guess we got Pride this year. So I guess that's June. I tried her for the first time because this is something I didn't want to grow up being like, okay, I didn't try it, girl. I watched a few episodes of RuPaul. And so I tried it and I loved it. The reciprocation, the support from the community as I just walked up and down Church Street here, it was breathtaking.
Okay. Talk me through for the first time, you're putting on an outfit that you've never worn before in public, right? So what was it like to freely walk up and down Church Street, which I think is so amazing about Toronto? What did you feel inside? What were people doing in reaction to you?
Well, it's interesting. There was a slew of reactions, as you can imagine. Like everyone's different in the spectrum of people. The hardest part was stepping out of the Uber for the first time because I was just like, what's gonna happen? But I'm like, I'm doing this because I gotta do it. So I did it. And so I stepped out and immediately people were like, hey, can I take your photo? And I'm like, really? Okay, sure. And then there was also people who were, I guess, confused because they were just like, you're so beautiful. Like, are you actually a woman? And I'm like, well, I don't think so. I don't connect to that at this moment, but I mean, talk to me next year, you never know. What is gender? So yeah, that was really exciting. Everybody had a different response to it. My friends came with me, my friends Victoria, Laura, like I love them so much and they just held my hand through it. And I got so confident around the rest of the night and I was just towering over all these people because I'm wearing stilettos, right? So you kind of got to be fully committed.
Yes, how tall are you in stilettos?
Oh gosh, I didn't even measure. I'm 5'10" regularly,
right,
so I guess
over 6. Oh my God.
She's
pretty striking. What is your favorite thing about Spectra?
Honestly, in a weird way, she's kind of like my goddess because it's almost like it's taking all of this stuff because I was raised in a Christian household and I still actually keep to many of those ideals, but it's been transmuted through like religion's been transmuted for me through Spectra. And it's almost like, I feel like I remember one church sermon I got once and they was just saying we're all supposed to be like God, like be inspired by God. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So in a weird way, Spectra is that for me, where there's love for everyone, openness for everyone. And Spectra is kind of my, what's the word? My Mary, as it were. If I may be simple to say.
She's like a hot Mary.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, a hot Mary. I may just use that one, girl.
Why not? Why not?
A hot Mary.
One of the reasons that I love this work is I do find drag to be magical in that I know I do a drag character called Buddy, who is total hoser, total dude, and he teaches in a Montessori school. He teaches young kids. And you'd never guess that because he wears a bandana and he has a handlebar mustache.
I saw a picture, super attractive.
Oh, you did?
Thanks.
I
would. Well, cameras
right?
are rolling, but yeah.
He's available for dates.
Oh, well, hello, we'll talk.
Yeah, he's on Juder. No, I'm kidding. But I really, when I am him, I really feel it's the best part of me. It's the nicest, kindest, least judgmental part of me. And when I hear you talk about Spectra, it sounds like you start to embody the goddess. Like if you're talking about Mother Mary or some version of God or the goddess that is love, that is literally a walking being of love.
Absolutely. The things I took from church, she is. And like, and whereas Miles may have some limitations to that. So it's almost like a step out of your ego just for a day, just for a moment.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. My muse. Wait, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that would make total sense to say that your drag persona is your muse.
I feel that.
That's so well said.
And oh my gosh, I have to see you perform because that's a privilege.
Maybe one day I'll come in as Buddy.
I think that would be fantastic. Stay tuned.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you're amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you're here. And I want to say cheers.
Thank
To
you.
you.
Let's give this a try.
And Spectra.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining me on Tea with T.E.S.
They say there's no doing it on your own. Got you thinking, you're all alone. Hold up, step back, breathe in, I'm here, play. Take a second to